Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Again, English. Okay? Then today we are in the background of your class and without you people here. Okay, and then pray to God every time for you know that what are the things happening now here, and that is the only solution. Pray to God, inshallah. Okay. Then today we are going to discuss about our new chapter, that is our third chapter, that is two stories about flying. Okay, today we are going to discuss about our new chapter, that is two stories about flying. Okay, then here we have two units, then two experience, and first, that is his first flight by Liam O. Flaherty. Okay, his first flight. Okay, listen all of you. Then here our third chapter, two stories about flying. Then in that we have two chapters. That is his first flight. Two things. In this unit we have two chapters. His first flight and Black Aeroplane. Okay. Then his first flight is the story of seagull. Do you know seagull? Bird, seagull. Yes, seagull. That is that is water bird, right? Okay. Then here Liam O. Flaherty talking about the role of parents in the case of animals, birds in everywhere we know that role of parents molding their children. Understand? Role of parents molding their children. Then even it is man or animal or bird, in the case of everything, surely we know that the role of parents is very important, right? Yes. Just think about our parents and which are the things they are doing to us. Just think about everything and how they support you. Okay. Then how they support you, then how you become like this. Surely only because of our parents, right? The positive attitude and the positive support. Right? Everything. Okay. And surely we know that even in the case of animals, even in the case of everything, surely I told you that role of parents is needed. Okay. Then here we have one story of a seagull and how he start to fly, how he learned to fly. Okay, everybody, listen. Okay, then I think, are you ready? Yes. Then start. Read now. Okay. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sisters had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Listen carefully, simple language, but surely if you listen carefully, then only you can write essays easily. Okay. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away. He failed to muster up the courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come to around calling to him, shrilly upbraiding him, threatening to let him start on his legs unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. Okay, surely we know that even in the past, since the earliest times, humans have the dreamt of conquering the skies. Here are two stories about flying. I told you that here are two stories about flying. Then human being has that intention to conquer the skies. That means to conquer the skies means, what is the meaning of why it's like that? Conquer the skies means defeating or overcoming the areas. That means defeating the higher positions. Understand? Surely we have that urge. Then only we can fulfill our life, right? Without anything, without having any ambition, and without having any dream, then is there any use of our life? Is there any use for life of our life? No, nothing. Okay, all of you? Okay. Then here is a story. Through this story, the author tries to understand what the willpower. Understand? Surely if we have that need, surely we try for everything. If we, then we know that what? Intention is the mother of inventions. Like that. Okay. Then listen all of you. Read again. The young seagull was along his ledge. Ledge means a narrow horizon or a horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or a cliff. Okay. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and sisters had already flown away the day before. Okay. He had been afraid to fly with them. Who? That young seagull. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. What? Then he became afraid when flap means move up and down. And here, somehow when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Okay, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, lack of confidence. Okay, he think that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Okay, all of you? Okay. Then, even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, ran to the brink. Brink means that edge. Flapped their wings and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. Desperate means hopeless. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly. Shrilly. Have you heard that word shrilly everywhere? Yes. Word shrilly in your 9th standard. Just think about that sound of music. Yes, a shrill sound. Punchi. Right? Okay. Shrilly and briding him. And briding means scolding him. And threatening to let him starve on his legs unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. What happened here? All of you listen. What happened here? Then at last they compelled him to fly, but he didn't do anything. But at last here they called to him shrilly and scolded him, threatening to let him starve on his legs unless he flew away. Then last what they did at last? They let him to starve if he didn't fly. Understand? Okay. But for the life of him, he could not move. Okay. Then at last what they decided? They decided to let him to starve. If he could not fly, let him to starve. Understand? They didn't give any food to him. Let him to starve. That was 24 hours ago. Since then nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight. Okay, I think you got the points, right? Read again. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and java. Herring means a soft, finned sea fish, and java are another thing, and it standing on the rock, while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. Cackle means a sound after laying of egg. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Okay, all of them doing their own activities and everything perfectly, but here he is waiting for something because they called him as cowardice. Understand all of you? Okay, then read that paragraph fastly. Speed up. Okay, then the sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Okay, he stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other. Okay, he started to try something. Okay, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on a plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the foot maddened him. How he loved to tear the foot that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Okay, to wet means to sharpen it. Okay, then what happened next? He just tried to a doze off. But what happened? Still they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads. Dozing means falling asleep. Their heads sunk into the nets. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Preening using by their beak, they are just arranging their feathers and everything. Okay, feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on the little high hump on the plateau. Her white breast thrust forwards. Now and again she tore a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Okay, then next, I think you can follow me, right? Okay. Go, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Go, she screamed back jealously. But he kept calling plaintively in a sorrowful manner. And after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was lying across him with it. Okay, coming. Okay, mother coming to him. He leaned out eagerly by seeing the food, tapping the rocks with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within the reach of his beak. She just near to the not reached him, but she just near to the seagull. And fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. Okay, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into the space. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a few minutes. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards, trying to fly. Okay, mother is waiting there. Surely she wants to hear the seagull want to fly. That's why she is waiting just far near him, right? And the next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach, and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He started to fly. And he was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. Okay. And he was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy and comfortable. Okay. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared. That means flew up. Soared means flew up upwards. Go, go, his mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming, and he saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, and him cavorting and leaping like a horse and banging and soaring and diving. Who started? Here, our young seagull. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. Okay, he got confidence and commended himself to dive and soar and curve and shrieking shrilly. Okay, he was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with the little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sidewise and called amusedly. Okay, then he forgot everything and he started to fly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning, that means calling to him, calling shrilly, and he dropped his legs to stand on the green sea, and his legs sank into it. He screamed with his fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. He just started and entering the sea, and he understood everything, his nature. Okay, only because of his confidence. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise because he was hunger. And exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sunk into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of a dog fish. And he had made his first friend. Understood all of you? Okay, which are the things happened? He just tried to fly, and he understood how he fly. Then he just entered that ground and entering to that sea ocean, and how he got support and everything. Okay, read all of you.